Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another Clearwater Jazz Holiday Foundation's Young Lions Master Virtual Sessions. I am your guest host, Michael Kernodle, and guess what? The jazz is here and alive because we have one of our favorites this morning, which is the professor, Tyler Wertman, and the topic is buzzing. Tips and tricks. So, all you brass players, you're in for a treat today. As you know, Tyler is an awesome trombonist. But before we tell about him and all his major accomplishments, we want to thank our sponsors. So be sure, check out the studio archive of the past video sessions at clearwaterjazz.com, education outreach section. That's brought to you by Blue Water Wealth Management at Stewart Partners and Duke Energy, as well as the Young Lion podcast, wherever you stream. That's brought to you by our friends at Marine Max Clearwater. Just search Young Lions Jazz Master Virtual Sessions wherever you stream. I mean, where do I start? You know, Tyler's given us some great sessions in the past. Just to name a few, how about learning to develop your own personal sound on the trombone? I mean, that's definitely worth going back to listening to. Or how about this one, basic trombone fundamentals, approaching a transcription. He's done so many things on improvisation. So make sure you go back and listen to those sessions. If you don't know this amazing educator and musician, Tyler's a jazz trombonist. He's been working with Clearwater Jazz outreach programs, including the Young Lion Master Sessions and My Journey with Jazz programs. He's a composer, performer, producer. I mean, he focuses on jazz and classical styles. The man does it all. He has his degree in a bachelor's in music from FSU, and he has a master's in music in jazz studies from USF. And currently, you can catch him at the University of Tampa, where he's an instructor. He's teaching Introduction to Jazz as well as world music cultures. Sign up for the class, learn something from this man. But guess what? You have a treat today because you get to hear him for free right here. So without any further delay, Tyler, the stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you, Clearwater Jazz. Always love coming here and getting to spread a little bit of knowledge that I've came across and, getting to share it with all of you guys. And today it's going to be about buzzing, okay? And maybe misconceptions, things you might have heard, things to watch out for, exercises, okay? We're going to talk about all of these things here. Now, at least in the brass school, we have a few different thoughts when it comes to buzzing, okay? And it's really all personal preference. That's the main thing you should take out of this is some individuals believe that buzzing isn't good for the embouchure. It's not good for your playing long-term. There's no real benefits there. And others think that it is a great way to sort of maybe even practice if you don't have a instrument for the time being, or warm up, etc. Work on your intonation as well. Okay, and there's arguments to be made on both sides. So without me going further into it, if this works for you, great. I would recommend doing so. If it doesn't work for you, well, then maybe buzzing isn't going to be, supplemental material for you to practice and work on further. And again, every individual learns differently. Okay, so the things that make you get better the quickest, you need to realize what those techniques are and make use of them. Okay, and for me, buzzing is definitely something that has been there for me in the car, for instance, on the way to a show, on the way to a gig. And I just, it's early in the morning and I just maybe couldn't get a proper warm up in, or you were working all day, etc. So there are benefits to warming up. Like I was just saying, you do not need your horn to sort of get a quote unquote warm up And remember, in our past warm-up sessions, we talked about what are you doing when you're really warming up? You're getting blood moving, right? It's similar to an athlete when they are warming up, preparing for their sport. They're getting their muscles warm, filled with blood, getting that circulation going. Same thing for us brass players, okay? Our lips are muscles, right? And if we do not have that proper circulation going through them, well, we can damage them, rip, tear, etc. And those are just issues you do not want to be dealing with as a professional brass musician. So that's why I would, recommend spending some time on your mouthpiece. Okay, but not just with your mouthpiece. I would definitely recommend having some sort of small keyboard. Okay, some maybe piano nearby, so that you can buzz with a source of pitch. Okay, for me, this piano, it seems to help. You can hear, so that pitch was a concert F very clearly. Now, besides just buzzing an F on the mouthpiece, which is beneficial, so it works on getting that embouchure set, okay, on that attack, that initial attack from your tongue, as well as your release. Okay, all of these things are done in the mouthpiece, not on the trombone. Okay, it's important to remember that. Now, if you don't have any keyboards, anything like that, well, use what you can. Okay, but then, practice with material that we are very, very comfortable with, like maybe the B flat major scale, for instance. Okay, so with the B flat major scale, something that you can do for a mouthpiece routine, etc., for any instrument is these descending half notes. Okay, maybe starting from this concert F, okay, down to your B flat, right, diatonically. Okay, so using this diatonic pattern from 5 down to 1, it can lock in our pitches into our ear on what we're hearing, as well as lock in our embouchure to these pitches as well. So again, hearing that first pitch. So I would also recommend closing the mouthpiece slightly when you buzz, okay? It's a little bit of natural tension that's there on the instrument when we play. And if we're buzzing completely open, well, that's not bad, okay? But when we do buzz on the instrument, there is a bit of tension there, and it's not completely closed, okay? I'm cupping it with my fingers. So let's just say that you want to warm up with another method, okay? Let's say you want to warm up with something else besides the major scales. So what's something else that you can do? Well, you can warm up chromatically as well. For example, the Remington etudes, right? In that warm-up book, those have great chromatic patterns. where they utilize the partials of the brass instrument, concert B flat, concert F, and etc. But it works chromatically down through those partials and returning back to those initial open or first position notes each time. So for instance, and I'm speeding this up obviously, but okay, and all the way down. But again, okay, take these at a nice, comfortable tempo, half notes, okay, is preferred. And there are some different techniques that we can implement here. Okay, again, so I'll start on this F partial. And I play the pitch that I'm about to buzz just for recollection for my ear as well. Okay, so for the first exercise, I will tongue the first note and then slur down to the next, tongue the following, slur the next. Okay. So by tongue slur, you're working on your natural articulation as well. Okay, you can also slur the entire thing. Okay, there's also a, all tonguing technique that you can implement. Okay, all are very effective here. Okay, breathe when necessary and take it through your different pitches. Okay, B flat, F for instance, but that's the beauty of having this mouthpiece. Okay, there's multiple ways to recollect pitch as well as getting these these muscles moving, the blood flowing. Okay, that's what warming up is all about, guys. In any way we can do that effectively, right? We should be doing it. Now, are you going to buzz every single day? Well, maybe not, but in certain situations, okay, the buzzing is going to just be very crucial and beneficial for you to have a great performance down the road. Mike, how about you? Have you ever done any buzzing in the car, maybe?
Actually, I have. It's been a great technique for me, especially when I don't have the time or I get a last minute call for performance. It is very, very helpful to do so. Now, I know you mentioned a lot about warming up, but one thing I like to do, I like to cool down as well.
Cool down, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and playing, low tones, pedal tones to really, really get a range in my embouchure. So, everything that you said is right on point. But I mean, there's so many benefits in this, and especially you mentioned, training your ear as well. I like to, play charts off my horn. If it works with my hearing, works with my chops. If I can do it on that mouthpiece, 9 times out of 10, I could do it on the horn,
Because like I was saying, that intonation, right? Your tonguing, all of that thing, your airstream, it happens first here before it even enters your instrument, your valves, your slide, etc. And the closer we can sort of understand what our air is doing, like you're saying, the closer we can relate that to our instrument.
Absolutely. So right now, what is your regimen throughout the week? Are you, I mean, how are you mixing it up? Because I know sometimes we get into a habit of doing the same type of warm up. It's this, and there's nothing wrong with consistency, but is there anything that you do to kind of break up that consistency and, kind of shock the system or so, I guess you could say.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And so, of course, I have my 10, 15-minute warm-up routine that has my, 12, 17 exercises that I do religiously, right? I do the Remingtons, you do some tonguing exercises, you do your lip slurs, you work on your fundamental things to get that blood moving. Now, to sort of split it up, for me, if I didn't, warm up with my mouthpiece in the past couple of days, and man, this warm up routine is getting kind of tedious for me, maybe start with a new new starting place to get things rolling. Okay. And then you might roll into that warm up a little bit more greased up, ready to go. Something else you could also do, okay, for me is to warm up long tones, for instance, with long tones rather. But instead of doing the Remington exercises, right, chromatically down, because I might think that might be less interesting, okay, than some other material, I'll crack open some chord changes, okay, or whichever, ballad play-alongs, you name it, and do some long tone practice, okay, over thirds and sevenths of different tunes, for instance. And that's one way for me to get that long tone practice, that pitch recall, that intonation work, all of those things in a different way.
I think you just said the magic word. You said long tones.
Right.
I know, especially for younger players, sometimes that could be a little boring, doing long tones, but I promise you.
Man, but that's how you develop your voice, right?
Right. You have to put that time in on that to develop that great sound. Because let's be honest, you can have all the techniques in the world, but if your tone is not good, who really wants to hear that?
And if your tone isn't developed, it's not always going to be there when you want it to be. And that's something you don't want to happen as a professional musician. It's very embarrassing because as a professional musician, consistency is going to be held, right? And in a certain light, you're going to need to be consistent as any professional, right? And if you're not, people view your work ethic, your practice a certain way. And guys, doing that work now, it is going to reward you down the road. Okay, it's going to teach you how to slot your airstream, how to develop, like Mr. Kernodle said, a warm down regimen, right? Things to help you down the road. And absolutely.
Right. Well, spoken well from the professor. He knows. You see him on the major stages. He's also in the classrooms teaching. So, and you heard him play, so you know he's doing something right. So thank you, Professor Tyler Wertman, for this awesome session today. And I do want to remind everyone, if you're enjoying this, and we keep stressing, this is free. I mean, where can you find this great information for free? Well, one place you can find it is on our website, www.clearwaterjazz.com/education. We really want you to visit, check out the archives of the great sessions that we have here. Whether you're a beginner, you're an advanced player, there's something for everyone. Spread the word, everybody. Now, say if you want to give us some feedback, we would love to hear it back from you. If you have any topic suggestions, they're welcome to come in as well. Just email us at info@clearwaterjazz.com, and we can't wait to hear from you. So thank you so much, Professor. We appreciate this great topic today on buzzing. I know everybody's about to go and take out that mouthpiece, whether you're driving. Please be safe while you're driving doing this, or just going in between class or ready to warm up for your next one. We want you to buzz, 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 buzz. And until next time, keep it swinging, everybody. Thank you so much. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.